Hi, I'm Karen Russell, and this is Kristen Carmela, and we are going to talk about the yogi squat, Malasana. One of my favorite postures because I don't know, I always feel like I'm in the middle of a field somewhere, right? Like it's very earthy, grounding. I feel motherhood in this posture for some reason. You might have a different experience, but that's how I feel. And it's a huge hip opener. Malasana is used a lot in yin practices where you might hold it for 7 to 10 minutes. So it's a huge hip opener. And with that said, some people who have really tight hips, they might not love this posture at first. Remember, sometimes the things we don't love are the very things that we should do. So there are options. Yay, there's options in every posture. So we're going to first start with Malasana. So Malasana, I would always start in a wider stance. So come a little wider than your hips, toes slightly out, heels in, almost like a plie, but you never want your toes to be so over-rotated that the second toe isn't in line with the ankle and the knee, right? So don't do bad ballet and turn those feet out. And Kristen's just going to start to squat down, but she's going to show you what it would look like if someone really had bad knees or hips, and then they can just rest. Yep. Even, yes, just like that. So when I have my elderly, I have a couple students that are 85, 90 years old, they don't want a bunch of props. They just don't. Some of them are feisty and they're like, no. So this, I'm telling you. So this, they're getting a huge workout, right? There's a lot of isometric energy here. So what I mean by that is while she's squatting down, she's actually pushing her forearms into her thighs. And as she's pushing down, she's drawing in and kind of holding it there. This is also a wonderful posture for Mula Bandha. Right? You're igniting the Mula Bandha a lot, right? Lifting the pelvic floor so that fine idea of surrender and effort is happening, right? So you want to relax into it, but you also want to draw up into it too. So this is one way of doing Malasana. If you feel like you can't go all the way down because you have bad knees or your hips are hurting, slowly do this every day, and then you will start to open up your hips. Now, what if you're almost there? So she's going to go a little further in her Malasana, and she'll use a block. And if you're at home, you can use a pillow or a bolster or a block. Don't put it on the high. So if you feel, that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. If you ever feel like you need more space, don't ever sit on a block on the high end in this because you could fall off it. I'd rather you just stay in the squat. Okay, so now she's going to go into Malasana and sit all the way down, and she's going to use the block. And you can bring your feet in a little bit if you want, if that's more comfortable. So let's talk about that. For this, you're comfortable right now? Okay. So now let's talk about that hugging in. So even here you have the 3 platforms. She's rooting down through the feet, right, to draw up, to protect the ankles. She's in prayer pose or Anjali Mudra, and she noticed that she can get her upper arms into the inner thighs. So what's a really nice exercise here is that she can hug, squeeze the inner thighs in, at the same time pushing the inner thighs away with the upper arms, and this is the isometric energy. So this will build a lot of strength. Combine that with the Mula Bandha, with the perineum and the pelvic floor drawing in and up, right? Now, if you sit in this posture for even a minute or two, you're going to start to really open the pelvic floor. And you're also going to start to notice that your lower back, right, will release. The gravity will start to pull the lower back in. So this is also a nice time where you can start to breathe deep, inhaling through the nose, the low belly, the side ribs, the heart. And then exhale down the back body. Remember, we talked about the gift of visualizing the breath going through the whole body. This is one of the postures I like to sometimes stop and do a lot of breath work, especially if I'm teaching a flow class, right? So couple breaths here, just feel it. Root down through the feet, even here, navel in, flesh of the buttocks down. You're doing a little isometric energy work. You're pressing the palms together, the fingertips. You're igniting the upper arms into the thighs. You're pushing the thighs away as the inner thighs are hugging in, which lifts the chest and the collarbones. And then start to visualize the breath, right? So your drishti here, your eyes would be closed, or they're soft at half gaze. And this posture is doing a tremendous opening in the hips, and also opening up and lengthening the low back, right? Strengthening the knees. A couple more breaths of feeling the hugging in, the inner thighs in as the upper arms push away, and seeing the white light energy go through the body. Remember, you can even, if you felt like your hips were really tight here, you could actually take that breath and put it right into your hips. That's pretty cool. And then a couple more breaths. Now, if you've been in this posture for a while, you might need a nice forward fold. So I'm going to ask her to take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, place your hands on the floor. And she's just going to do a nice forward fold, Ustrasana. You could even straighten your legs and do a full Ustrasana forward fold. Oh, you're going to do Dandasana. I was just standing up, forward fold. Yeah, so this is a nice option. You could also, that was a nice option that she was talking about too, is Dandasana. But also a nice forward fold. So if you do a lot of hip openers, especially if you're doing more of a yin practice where you're holding the postures longer and getting into the joints and ligaments, take a moment, do a counterbalance, right? So now this will release everything. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, why don't you roll up ragdoll? That's another nice way to stack the vertebra, open up, and then exhale your beautiful hair out of your face. So Malasana, squat pose, a lot on the hips and the knees, but it will also help the hips and knees. You have options. You can do half squat and just stay there. You can sit on a bolster, a blanket, a pillow. We had a block today just to show you that you can sit on something, right? And really practice the isometric energy in this posture, because this is a perfect posture that you can do that, right? Also ignite the Mulaban, right? And the drishti soft, so you can really work on breath work. So Malasana, yogi squat.